welcome to the combination of O and P. So coming off the top of the O here, we don't use much of a dip. We use the actual slant. So it's a tiny incline going downwards there, and then we bend the wire downwards at a right angle. And then below the baseline now we make a forward crimp, which is the tail of the P below the baseline. So we crimp that wire there. Okay, now the top of that doubled up section, we grip the wire and we bend the wire around clockwise in a circle and take it behind the structure to form the P shape, as you can see there. Now we change the grip. Pliers grip within the circle of that P and continue that circle clockwise. Now we change the grip yet again, and to continue that P. Now where we come off the P, we come off the P the same as the O, or we can take the P to the baseline, but it's better actually to come off the P as we do from the O. So there is, there's one final thing here. We make the left facing serif on the tail part of the P, and then just adjust it to make sure that everything's in order, and there's the OP. Hi, and welcome to the OQ combination. So we start off with the normal dip there, and we go into the Q like we would if we were doing the double O. So we're basically replicating that O. So we go all the way around in front of the previous bend, and now changing the grip to within the circle, we take the wire all the way down vertically. So now the Q is below the baseline. Now we grip the vertical section, we bend the wire in a semi-loop counterclockwise, and then finally finish off to the baseline. So there is the OQ. Hi, welcome to the OR combination. And off the O we're going to not do the dip, but we're coming off at a very low slight angle from the very top of the O. And now we make a right angle bend downwards to the baseline. We now make a forward crimp. Okay, so just right above that doubled up section there where the slanted part is, just above that, we make a very small circle counterclockwise. Take the wire in front of the vertical section, bend it all the way around so it faces up to about 2 o'clock on the clock face. And now grip the wire just to the right of that small circle and bend it backwards. Now I'm not going to crimp it, but we're just going to close the gap on that one. Here I'm adjusting it slightly because it was a little short, so that's better. So now I use the flat part of the pliers just to close that gap a little bit. And now grip that doubled up section and then bend the wire downwards so that it goes behind that previous vertical section, and now finish off to the baseline, and there we have the OR. Hi, here's the combination of O and S. So with the S following the O, we do the dip, but we grip grip this inside of the O with the tip of the pliers, and then we bring that a sharp, after the dip, a sharp bend upwards, and just almost level with the top of the O there, we make a backward crimp. The top of that doubled up section is a little higher than the top of the O. But anyway, what we do now is we grip the top of that doubled up section with the tip of the pliers, and we make a sharp right hand bend there. And now on that horizontal section, we will grip the pliers with the wider part of the pliers, and then we're going to make a semi loop here. Bring the wire clockwise around, and the bottom part of that semi loop is level with the baseline now. Now we grip with the very tip of the pliers just below that vertical section of the S there, and then we bend the wire around so it goes behind, and a sort of 3/4 loop there, semi loop just past the semi loop. And now grip the wire just at the top part of that small semi loop, and then bend the wire to the baseline. So there we have it. That is the OS. Hello, welcome to the OT combination. So we leave the top of the O at an angle that goes down to, faces down to about 4 o'clock on the clock face. And then we make an angle bend so that the wire is now pointing down vertically. Now what I'm going to do is grip the wire with the tip of the pliers there on the baseline, or where the baseline is, which is level with the bottom of the O there, and make a forward crimp. So now the wire is also going up vertically. I'm just going to make a few corrections and adjustments here. So now where the top of the T is, we're going to make a backward crimp here. Okay, for the next stage of the T, what we're going to do is flip the structure upside down. It's a little easier to do, and then grip the bottom part of that structure now, the doubled up section, a right angle to the left, tip of the pliers now, bend it to the right and over that previous vertical section. So now it's going across that vertical section. Now flip it back upside down, and then just grip that wire where it's shown, and then bend the wire to the right and over the other section, and then a right angle to put it behind that previous vertical section, which is seen from the back here. Now I just close the gap, bring the ladder to view from the front again, now we can recognize the T shape. Now we grip the wire just above that junction there that we had earlier, and then bend the wire to the right, and that will go on to the next letter.